Okay. So practically, practically, I'm going to explain about the industry 5.0. Okay. So industry 4.0, 3.0, 2.0, 1.0, these things are all most of your knows. Okay. Even in 1780s, the first industrial revolution was born with the generation of mechanical power from water, steam, and fossil fuels. Whereas in second, it's something like a electrical energy. Okay, so which is favored. Okay, so similarly, it connects with the different generation. Whereas now we are into the fourth phase. Okay, industry 4.0. Okay, even this industry 4.0 is not at well grown. Many industry pioneers and technology leaders are looking ahead for a so will happen by the end of 2025 only. Okay, not before that. Okay, so here we can connect with the manufacturers and what's connecting with the manufacturers. So all these steps we can able to connect. So before explaining this slide, I just explained this one. Okay, then I come back to that. Okay, whereas the manufacturers are competing to satisfy the every changing market demands actually. So whenever there is a change in the market, there is a requirement. Generally, we'll do the manufacturing and we'll connect with everyone. Whereas in Industry 5.0, this is a purely a customized manufacturing one. This requires the production lines to be adaptive and the intelligent and flexible enough to meet the update request. Even the business leaders and manufacturing managers have concluded that they should have achieve an integration of business and the industrial production. So that's the focus for Industry 5.0. Even organization from a different government strategy project. The fourth revolution was an initiative strategy to transform the manufacturing agents from physical to the cyber physical system. Okay. So therefore, the foundation of Industry 4.0 is based on CPS, I mean cyber physical system. Okay. So the great deal of analyzing the process is also required to obtain the useful information from raw and also the huge data lakes also. The main drives for Industry 4.0 can be like the internet and the IoT being available almost everywhere. The business and manufacturing integration, digital twins of the real world applications, effective production of line and smart products. After Industry 4.0, the production cost is reduced by 10 to 30 percentage. The logistic cost also reduced by 10 to 30 percentage. The quality management cost also reduced by 10 to 20 percentage. So these are all the proof for Industry 4.0. So if I'm going to say about Industry 5.0, why it is required? Okay, so Industry 4.0 is about automating the process and introducing the edge computing in a distributed and intelligent way. Practically, the focus is to improve the efficiency of the process and is thereby inadvertently ignores the human cost resulting from the optimization of the process. The biggest problem that evident in a few years, okay, Industry 4.0 is going, I mean, it's no more in 3 or 4 years practically. Whereas if I'm saying about the Industry 5.0, the concept of Industry 5.0 can be visualized using a production line example. It shows a human worker working on assembly of an electromechanical machine. The human worker starts a task and robots observes the process using camera on a gimbal. The camera works as an eye of the robot actually. The robot is also connected with the processing computer that takes image, performs the image processing and lands the pattern using ML. I mean, now it's a DL actually. It also observes the human monitoring environment and infers the operator. So the crucial sensor can be used for human intention function is nothing but a near infrared spectroscopy. So that's what we are saying. Functional near infrared spectroscopy. Okay, FNIRS, or a wireless communication channel to retrieve the signals from the human brain. FNIRS is better suited for the task to come from the headset, does not need time consuming step and calibration step. So this is about the industry 5.0. So now I'm going to show something over here. This is from the Intel IoT platform. Yeah. So these are all the manufacturing space. So in this manufacturing space, we are connecting with some gateways. Okay, each and everything is having a sensor connect. Collectively, we get this information via the gateway. The gateway is connecting to the internet, and it is stored in the storage management. I mean, the cloud or data storage management. And it connects to the API and third-party connection such a way that it will connect to the B2B or B2C customers. B2B means business to business, B2C means business to normal consumers, B2C customers. So this is about today's architecture. But whereas in tomorrow, each and every sensor is directly act as a gateway, directly connect to the cloud management. Okay, each and every sensor it should have its own brain. Previously, the sensor we are having, it captures the data and it passes to a particular storage space, and I mean centralized unit. Okay, connecting like a grid or non-grid structure. Okay, it will pass those information. But whereas in tomorrow, it's not like that. Okay, each and every individual sensor will act as a brain. Okay, even I'll show that. Okay, so practically industry 5.0. So that's what I said, right? So it's a connecting the huge amount of data towards that intelligence. Okay, practically if I'm saying about the wireless sensor, all the wireless sensor can take the information and pass to the cloud. Okay, so once the data is reached to the cloud, okay, practically we do the filtration, we'll do all the calibrations, all the calculation in the cloud only. Okay, via the machine learning or deep learning. Whereas in industry 5.0, all the calibration done at the sensor itself. Okay, previously this mathematical computation can be done only at the cloud, because since the cloud is a third-party environment, so due to the data security, anything can happen. Okay, whereas here in this case, okay, we are having everything in the chip level itself. All the chip acts as an intelligent cognitive computing. Okay, so for those, okay, we can have different methodology, different process. Okay, so practically here what happens means human need to think. Once the human is ready to think, this operation can be done by connecting the electromechanical parts. Okay, so it's a customized one, and personalized mass production can be done over here. Okay, in industry 5.0, no need to program anything. Even machine learning, deep learning, no need to program anything. All the model is ready. The one and only thing is we need to identify the proper model such a way that it should match that requirement, and it should give the accuracy. So in industry 5.0, this is purely human need to think. That's it, nothing else. Everything done at the processor level itself, and each and every electromechanical parts is connected to the human brain. So no need to do the design. So the computer is, I mean, it requires the human thought process. That's it. Okay, once this thought process is initiated, this electromechanical, I mean, the industrial robot will help to close the design. Okay, so how these things, this process will work? Okay, in future there is only two technology will exist. Okay, one technology is nothing but a MR, mixed reality, and another technology is blockchain. Even if I'm saying about the AI, ML, DL, IoT, everything under these two only. Everything under these two only. Okay, how we are going to integrate it? So even I'll show a few AR VR based solution also. or some image processing solution also. So by that way, so we can able to initiate it, how these processes gets initiated. Okay. So in future, the practical office will be like, okay. So here, yeah, here human is need to think and he need to connect. Everything is connecting with the cobots. Okay, connecting with the different algos. Okay, so he need to think the production, everything is done. Okay, till the logistic is initiated. Okay, so such a way that this can able to connect with the supply chain management also. Okay, and here the blockchain for enterprises resources, right? So each and every part is directly connected to the blockchain. So blockchain is connecting to the IoT. So everything we need to think. That's it. So here everything we are exposing via the augmented way of thought process. I mean, MR means mixed reality. So that's nothing but a combination of AR and VR. That's nothing but a combination of AR and VR. AR is augmented reality, VR is virtual reality. Okay. So even AR and VR generally we will see via the video format only, visualization only, whereas this exists in a audio format also. Okay. So once you can, if you are Googling it, you can able to identify what it is. Okay. So here, this is how the factory. So we need to think the design and everything, all the approach and all the production can be done till the supply chain management. Okay. So practically the methodology of the solution, what is required in Industry 5.0, the network sensor data interoperability. That means ranging from the smart houses to autonomous manufacturers, cobots and other distributed intelligence system, it makes sense that the ubiquitous sensing and collecting of a big data is unavoidable asset actually. The next industrial revolution, and it is only possible through the network sensor only. This also makes the low-level intelligence and processing power could reduce the need for a high bandwidth of the data transfer mechanism. Whereas this also allowing some local pre-processing of data. This can in turn reduce the network latency, okay, and overloaded while creating a level of distributed intelligence in the network. The common framework for information transfer rather than the simple data transfer mechanism will be needful benefit for the sensor network. Once this is implemented, this network sensor will open the possibility of unprecedented customization in manufacturing process. And whereas in the multi-scaling dynamic model and the simulation of digital twins, okay, with the intelligence of autonomous system arises complexity in the evolution of monitoring of the manufacturing steps, the visualization and modeling of the production line. It's a very useful tool for making policies and for managing the personalizing future products and product lines. Practically, the digital twin is nothing but a virtual model of a process or product, or even we can say about the service also. Bridging the virtual and physical world is nothing but a digital twins. Okay, it can provide them with the manufacturing units with the ability of analyzing the data, monitor the production process, manage risk, okay, and reduce the downtime, further develop the stimulus. With the recent advancement in the big data processing and also in AI, okay, 1 minute please. Gaurima, அது கொஞ்சம் ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்கம்மா. Sorry. Okay. So when accounting for uncertainty in the process, the digital twins presents an immense opportunity by allowing reduce wastage in the process flow and the system design, which is coupled with the state of art of visualization and modeling techniques. The technologies like digital twins are set to increase the productivity of all sensor in any industry. Whereas in shop floor trackers, This will improve the real-time production tracking. This allows the association of sales order from the customer with the production order and supplementary materials subsequent to optimal and efficient resource management with the critical objective of the manufacturer. Shop floor trackers are also allow for real-time tracking asset and the process flow, which directly paves the way for online process optimization in the production process. Practically, these trackers can be implemented in the form of the network sensors and via connecting with the different thing. And whereas in virtual training, even I can share an example that around 1.5 to 2 years back. Okay, so I can say some scenarios. One corporate, I won't say the corporate name. Okay, the actual place is in Denmark, and they are having a manufacturing unit in Amaravati, also Andhra Pradesh, and they were having the office structure in Siriseri, Chennai. Okay, so here few peoples are there. Okay, and also few peoples in the Amaravati and people in the Denmark also. So the practically what they are doing, so they will be working with the different robots and different manufacturing process. So if there is an error occurred in some of the manufacturing plant like Amaravati or even Denmark, so practically the site engineer has to visit from Chennai to Denmark. Okay, so again they have to come from Denmark to Chennai. Okay, there he goes there and he visits, and the hospitality, the ticket, everything, minimum cost, it will take around 2 lakhs. Minimum cost, it takes around 2 lakhs. Here, practically what they are doing, they are wearing the MR. Once wearing the MR, so once he rotating his hand, practically a robot is rotating a screw over there. Okay, so like this solution is implemented. Okay, so he controls everything from the Chennai plant itself. Okay, from the Chennai plant itself. So practically, if an error is occurred, he can able to address the error within 2 or 3 hours. Whereas in previous, it will take for more than 3 or 4 days to reach that place, and again he has to come. The practically for 1 week we are using around 3 or 4 hours of the particular person's utilization. So maximum utilization is avoided previously. Now the maximum utilization of the particular resource is used such a way that we can able to connect everything virtually. So once I am saying this is the process that I am doing. Okay, so this is processed only with the internet. So practically this can be said as a IoT. Okay, Internet of Things. Via the internet only we are doing. And here, if there also something is rotating. AI is also included. The decision making, ML, everything is included under MR. So that's what I'm saying about the MR is the future technology. Okay. So while we are doing such a project to those corporate, okay, our thought process will also migrate from industry 4.0 to 5.0. So everywhere is 5.0. Even 4.0 is not yet implemented in many industries. But whereas the industries planning to create a plant or something, so they'll initiate the environment with industry 5.0. Okay, practically they are going to succeed. Okay, so again I'm coming back to this slide. Okay, here we can have the intelligent autonomous system. So practically that means autonomously controlling the production line requires the great deal of AI applied in the software agents operating in the factory. Autonomy in Industry 5.0 is considerably different from what we refer to autonomous in Industry 3.0. Practically, autonomy that performs the useful functions is very difficult, if not possible, without AI. Okay, AI techniques allows the mechanism or machines to learn and therefore practically autonomously execute a desired task. The state of art of classification, regression, clustering methodologies, which is empowered by the deep learning strategy, which is result in the intelligent system and the solution that can make decision under unforeseen circumstance. Whereas, moreover, the transfer learning is a critical aspect of implementation and personalization in Industry 5.0, where most of the system suffer from uncertainties. The transferring the gain knowledge and skill from the digital system to virtual twin, practically this will play a very big role. Whereas in advancing in a sensing technology and machine cognition. So in this case, practically what happens means the intelligent autonomous system will greatly depend on replication of sense that we humans used to cooperate with other and learn in an adaptive manner. Even the computer vision combined with the DL means deep learning, reinforcement learning, and GPU based computation is shown with a great promise in the replicating primitive vision and also the sensory capabilities. However, for Industry 5.0, the cobots and different electromechanical movements, okay, these capability must be improved significantly. For example, I can say, however, the human worker will stop working when he or she suspects something unnatural in her workspace. Okay, even when there is nothing wrong in the plane side, but using the emotional intelligence, this sort of behavioral is very important in preventing the workspace accidents. At this moment, our vision and cognitive technique cannot achieve or prevent the workspace accident. In this addition to vision, the sensory techniques, the cognition needs to improve in order to make the best judgment in every changing workspace situation and developing a high adaptive system and can achieve the capability. Practically, this is not a trivial, but to build such a system with our current technology, there is no model, no data, rule-based system can accomplish this. Okay, so even a simple assistive task for a complex cobot as a human operator normally makes both consequently and subconsciously, which makes many decisions before performing some task, and safety approaches also is there. Okay, so these things we need to connect, and here previously we need to connect that emotional intelligence, I mean the adaptive learning. Okay, adaptive learning means by basic we the human are all having this adaptive learning mechanism. If there is something is there, okay, suddenly that work is not performed as we expected, our brain is ready to adjust for that, and that mechanism is nothing but adaptive learning. Okay, so all the chips should have the adaptive learning mechanism. Okay, so that's the thing we are focusing. And also previously the traditional way of learning, when the amount of data is increasing, the performance or efficiency one. Whereas in today's, if the data is increasing, the exponential growth, we can able to feel it. Okay, here I can show in the diagram comparing the performance efficiency of a DL techniques against the traditional learning method based on amount of training data. Here I can show that how the deep learning approach solves the problem of improvement with the efficiency. Okay, the traditional will tend to have this problem, whereas deep learning, which excels the data to introduce into a process. Okay, so even I said right. Okay, FNIRS and fMRI. fMRI means functional magnetic resonance imaging, and EEG, electroencephalography. Okay. In these devices, FNIRS is portable and easier to use due to low power setup. Okay. Here, this can take different data. Okay. Based on the data, we can able to connect with the deep learning. So based on that only, we are connecting how this will affect the manufacturing system. Okay. So practically HMI means human machine interaction. Okay. Which put the machine very close to everyday life of any human. Even we are having a mobile, right? So this is a purely an HMI. Okay. So how this is getting connected, how this is going to get the data. Okay. So we are connecting with the normal consumers, normal people. Whereas in manufacturing also, this is going to connect with each and every individual of the human. Okay. Here the manufacturing objective is to connect with the reinforcement learning and adaptive learning mechanism and a few more. Okay. Even I can show some examples also. And here, this is the interesting one, DNA of things, dot. Okay. So DNA of things means, okay, DNA digital data storage is the process of encoding and decoding. Okay. So here, by basic, okay, if we are having data, it is stored somewhere in a Google server or some other server. Okay. So this server will have the data form. Okay. So whereas they are having some acres and acres of land, okay, to place those hard disk space, in that hard disk space only all the data is stored. Whereas in 2019, okay, scientists from Israel and Switzerland approached this technique, and this is going to be evolved in Industry 5.0. It is connecting to Industry 5.0. The thing is, we are having a human DNA, right? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, around, if I'm connecting till day one to till today of YouTube data, it will be having some petabyte of data. It will be having around 300 or 400 petabyte of data. That's it. Peta or zeta, that's it. Whereas 1 spoon of DNA is more than enough to store all this YouTube data. Okay. So if you are searching via the internet, you can able to get the different information also. Those things are all informative one. So in future, humans are all, I mean, the dead humans are all replaced with for the data storage. Okay. So this is done by Israel and Switzerland. It's proven in 2019. Okay. It's implemented in a small company funded by the Google in UK. Okay. For testing process, it's done in 2020 May itself. Okay. So everything is processed. The only thing is this need to be implemented in most of the industry. Practically, it will take minimum 5 to maximum 10 years. Okay. So if we are connecting the human DNA, so to trigger the human brain, okay. So yeah, a single human brain is enough to replace around 3 acres of data space. So here this requires the low power only, ultra low power. Okay. So whereas that requires high power. Practically, this dart is going to change the industrial revolution. Okay. So practically, what are the skills for the industry 4.0? Is written in 2020. Whereas we should recur the deep learning. I mean, even if you are an electronics, if you are in any technology, but you should know the basic fundamentals of deep learning for tomorrow's sustainability. So these things are all for 2020. But whereas in 2025, You need to have the mechanism for adaptive learning mechanism, how this algo is working. So you should have some idea about deep learning concepts. Otherwise, it's hard to sustain. Okay, this is the job approach for most of the industries. Okay, I took this screenshot from uh, Applied Singularity app. Actually, this is a knowledge portal. This is not a job portal. Okay, so here everywhere it triggers the MLDL, NLP, MLDL. So the survey says that the deep learning engineers are required, but again the survey says till 25 we can able to reach up to 20% of the required job only. Still 80% are vacant. So why I'm saying this means I'm addressing the students. Okay, lots and lots of opportunities available in deep learning. Okay, practically the pay scale is entirely different. I mean, like, yeah. So the minimum pay scale is around 12 lakhs per annum. Okay, this is the proven one. Okay, so I shown the source and everything. Okay, for machine learning for freshers, the average salary is 8 lakhs per annum. Okay, for freshers itself. If you are having experience, it will influence it. Okay, even I can show some framework. So these are the screenshot I took from the NVIDIA. So these are the framework which is used by NVIDIA, whereas this is from the Intel. Okay, so even I show some demo now. So I just connect with the image person. So practically I just take the real data now itself, and I'll do the demo now. So even if you want, you can also try it. So I better I share this link to everyone. So I shared this link. So I'm going to consider the image processing project. So here I'm having some classes. So I'm going to take some real images of the development boards that what I'm having in my home right now. So I'm connecting the development boards like Freescale. So I'm switching on my webcam. So practically I am visible to everyone. So this is the development board that I'm having. Okay. So I can take some snapshots of this one. I'm taking that photos of this one. So this is the, I mean, I took around 143 images. Again, I'm going to have one more class like Azure Sphere board. So I'm taking that real-time images. So front side and similarly also in the back side. So I took around 174 images. I'm going to add one more class mentioning that MediaTek processor. So I took 146 images, and in next class, I can take Renaissance. I am training this. I am taking this data And finally, I'm going to have the generic board of Arduino. So I took some samples of images around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means around 750 images I took. I'm going to train this model. I'm training this model. So to train this, practically it will take maximum 1 or 2 minutes delay, because I took all these images. These images should be uploaded in the Google server. Then only we can able to sense this process. Yeah, it's getting trained. So we need to wait. So here what we did, it means we are taking the real-time images. So why actually I'm not taking about the machine learning, or these concepts. So how the machine is going to behave, okay, in manufacturing sector. If something is different happened, the next moment it should detect and it should update with that whether to stop the production or to pass this production. So practically, if I'm showing my face, it will detect me as a Renesas. The thing is, in this data set, you can able to see my face. So if I'm showing that Freescale board, it will identify it. So here, if I show some other board, it will detect that corresponding board, and similarly, if I show, yeah, everything is processed clearly. Okay, so here this is an image classification process. Whereas if I'm connecting with this image classification process, okay, how this will be useful. So once I'm process this data, this machine, the computer brain is ready to accept this data, and here we can able to show this. So instead, if I'm connecting with some actuators, practically this process will initiate some electromechanical things. The robots connected with some cobots. Okay, so the cobots takes the decision to activate that robots, such a way that this will result, and which gives an impact of how this is going to help the manufacturing and the entire production process. This is initiated in, I can say it, in Series 80, there is a new plant is introducing. Okay. So it's in the construction phase. Okay. They constructed the civil construction. So they are implementing the environment phase. Okay. So that's from Japanese company. Okay. In that Sri Parambatur, they are purely connecting with Industry 5.0. Everything is connected with the electromechanical movement. Okay, the practical thing is no need of human intervention. Human need to think. Okay, rest of the process are all initiated. So this is happening in Chennai itself. Okay, this is the first company that is connecting mostly with the adaptive learning mechanism. Okay, so this is from the Japanese company. Okay, so still you can able to search. So everything is collectively we are seeing. We are not seeing so sensor and ARM processor like that. We are seeing collectively and we are performing. Here also I can able to give some more demo also. But whereas better I'll show with some other website. Like so here you can able to see something in a green color shoe. Okay, actually this is not a green color shoe. This is for an agriculture plant, how the IoT is implemented. Okay, for that agriculture industry. Okay, here these things are all cows. They are connecting cow via the grazing methodology. Okay, this is around 20 acres of land. Okay, they are having a BLE chip on each and every cow. Okay, so they are having a BLE grid. Okay, so we provided the BLE grid for the entire plant. Okay, we are monitoring the cow. Okay, where are all it's walking. Okay, such a way that per day, how many kilometers this cow walked in that area. So we are analyzing it. Okay, so with that, and we are identifying around more than 60 parameters per day. Okay, so few parameters are updated each and every 15 seconds, few parameters are updated each and every 30 minutes, few parameters for 1 or few parameters per day. Okay, collectively we are getting around 4 lakhs plus data per day. Okay, this plant is also in near Pichatur. Pichatur means from Chennai to Kalastri. Okay, there is a place called Nagalapuram Falls. Okay, near Pichatur. Okay, so in Pichatur there is a small village called Kollakandigai. Okay, in that Kollakandigai, this process is there. So you can able, if it is possible, you can go there and visit it even if you want. Okay, so this is directly connecting to the supply chain management, such a way that we adapted the system. So this system is performs and it will identify how much liter of the milk this cow is going to give for next 2 months. Okay, we are analyzing those data. Okay, so such a way that we are updating to the business owners. Okay, so this is also possible with IoT. Okay, so here this is not an adaptive learning mechanism, but this is an IoT based solutions. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, okay, in future there is only two concepts. One is MR and another one is a blockchain. Okay, so in MR or blockchain, you should know the deep learning, at least basic. Even if you are not interested in programming, you should know what's happening, the background brain of the deep learning. Okay, practically, if I'm saying about the ARM chip, okay, there is a term called SoC, system on chip. If it is a SoC, we'll say it has some the memory, the RAM unit, the processing, and the graphics, everything together. Whereas in ARM, they introduced around 3 years back itself. Okay, so it should not only do with this process, it should have the mathematical capability itself. Okay, so by connecting the raw data to the cloud server, to the third-party cloud server, practically what happens means data insecurity is increased. So if we are in the position to do the filtration at the chip level itself, then it's an advisable one. So that's what the mathematical mechanism is updated in ARM chip itself. So I can show that ML ARM ML processor. Okay, so here I'll share this link. It was N77. Okay, so this is connecting with the ML interface in the processor itself. Okay, so this is mostly useful in the most useful in the distributed intelligence system. Previously, it was a distributed system. If we are connecting all the data from a different place, collectively we are updating to the cloud and we are doing. Now it's not a distributed system; it's a distributed intelligence system. Each and every space it has the intelligence, the mathematical capability. Based on that only we can able to infer the output. Okay. So likewise, I can say with the different examples also. Okay. So I think you got some idea about what is this, and so what's the opportunity in this. Okay, so if you are considering about a job, it's a job. If you are considering about the business cases, it's a business case. Okay, so it's about it's the thing that how you are going to connect with these things. Okay, so the industry is moved actually, it's not moving, it's moved towards industry 5.0. Okay, the IoT is changed into distributed intelligence system. Okay, here for data storage we are connecting with the DOT, DNA of things. Even this is implemented and this has seen some results. Whereas in market it will take around 5 to 6 years to reach the market. Okay, I think you got some ideas about what I am trying to say about the industry. Okay, if you are having doubt, please ask. I can able to help you out. Please, or if you want to type, you can also type it. Yeah, guys, if you are having doubt, you can ask. You can unmute and ask, or you can type and ask. It's up to you. Guys, if you are having doubt, please. So do you have idea about what we deal is helping in autonomous vehicle development? Practically, based on that DL only, the autonomous vehicle development is considering. Okay, here it needs to connect with the time series analysis. So better, Sampath, I'll open my paint and I'll explain in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so you are, I think you can able to understand it how the autonomous vehicle development is focusing. Okay, and so here I just open the paint. Okay, I'm going to draw 2 things. Let's consider this is a 3-lane road. Lane 1, lane 2, and lane 3. Okay. Again, you just consider this is a car and this is another car. And this is another car. Okay, if I ask, okay, this green car to overtake this.
Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes.
So your screen is not visible, sir.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to share it. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, no problem.
I think this is visible. This is 3-lane road. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, and this is one car and this is another car. This is a third car. Practically, this car has to overtake this red color car means practically by default the rules follows at the right direction, but logic says we have to go by the left direction. We are going by the left direction. Okay, so what happens means we need to sorry, we need to reach this point, but with this much of displacement. Here we can able to say we should have a triangle like this. We should have the triangle like this. So by connecting this, I can able to say there is some degree of deflection over here. So this can be around 30 degree. The theory says, okay, we need to take 30 degree at the left at this point. Once this is reaches this position, if it goes straight, it will go like this. But here this need to take again 30 degree to the right, such a way that this can able to follow the straight line. 1 minute please. Sharan or 2 minutes call position. So practically this takes 30 degree to the left. At this point, it takes 30 degree to the right, such a way that then only it can able to meet the straight direction. But this is a theoretical approach. Whereas in a practical approach, we are not like that. We will follow a methodology like, okay, we will bend like this, or we will bend like blue color or red color, any of this color. So I am considering the blue color. Okay, if it is a blue color, okay, we need to take around, let's assume this is around 60 degree to the left, and 1 degree after every time delay, 1 degree or 2 degree or 3 degree, so something like this. Here I am taking 1 degree to the right and 2 degree to the right. Here I am taking 10 degree to the right. Okay, here I am taking 1 degree to the right. So from here to here, practically we are crossing within 10 seconds. Let's assume within 10 seconds. In this 10 seconds, we need to analyze with the most of the nanoseconds how much degree that we need to bend. Okay, the practical approach. Okay, so this is a purely time series analysis. Okay, for autonomous vehicle, these calculations should be done connected with the deep learning. Then only this brain, this green color brain will work perfectly. So here the deep learning mechanism is more important. Whereas by connecting the ADAS system, advanced driver assisting system, okay, the tire pressure, everything you can able to connect it. But whereas for autonomous vehicle, these calculations should be adapted, connected with the image processing. Then only this can able to trigger the electromechanical. I mean, the engine part, the rotation of the right side or left side, everything collectively, everything should have the adaptive mechanism. So here for this case, I'm just explaining that deep learning is more important in autonomous vehicle. So I try to convey in a paint in a simple way for you to understand. I think you got it, Sambat Kumar.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.